Hey folks, Seth here with just a quick little interstitial before we get into the show proper. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up. This is a longer episode than we normally record. We try to usually keep the podcast in the sort of hour range so that we don't take up too much of your precious free time. But there was a lot to cover with this episode. Todd and I are both back from our vacations. Due to my wedding and stuff like that. And so I would say the first 40 or so minutes of this podcast is us talking about that stuff, talking about the wedding, talking about the trip and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, great. If you're not interested in that and you want to just hear us talk about the game, so that's great too. So if you want to just kind of skip straight to the games, I would skip to about the 41 to 42 minute mark or so. And enjoy the rest of the show from there. But whatever you do, we just thank you guys for listening. On with the show, on with episode 75.
November 9th, 2018.
And this is Nerd Bourbon episode 75. I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore, Todd. I feel lost.
But you know who I am. You're Seth Sturgill, and I'm Todd Sturgill.
Who is Seth Sturgill, Todd?
A piece of shit.
That's fair. A miserable little pile of secrets. You know, that pissed me off, actually. That's a line from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The version that they just released for PS4, the one that comes with Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, that's the PSP port of those two games, and it's actually, like, retranslated. So that classic line, a miserable little pile of secrets, is not in it. It frustrates me.
What takes its place?
I don't know what the accurately translated line is, but I know it's not that. So, and that's just like a classic. It's like all your bases is belong to us. You know, it's like one of those classically bad lines, Jill's sandwich. You know, and it's like, why fuck with that, man? It's so good. So that was a bummer. I still haven't messed with it, but I want to. Anyway, Todd, we're back in the saddle. I'll tell you what I tell you what I look like. I don't look good. I'm glad. I'm really glad we're not doing the video version of this podcast anymore.
You know, we said we would never mention that.
No, we can mention it. We can. I mean, like, you know, it was a nice idea, but the reality of it is, we're normally naked when we record this.
That's true. It felt like more of a job when I had to get ready.
Well, yeah, it was like it's like, you know, we both have let's say a face for podcasting.
Oh, it's real shit.
So it's like isn't that the advantage? Isn't the advantage that you don't have to skirt by on your bad looks?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, dude, if we had the cameras on today, we would probably have negative views on YouTube if we had the camera on today.
I'm basically naked right now.
I look like if Thor got his ass kicked and was fat. I look like if you put fucking like Rob Zombie in a blender. It's bad. It's bad. And it's hilarious because I give so little fucks now that like I'll just like walk outside like this. I'll just go and take Herbie out like this. And like people just kind of look at me like, ooh. Damn. I'll put my beanie on to cover it, but it doesn't do anything. You know that underneath the beanie is just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing, Todd?
I've been getting my ass kicked. I'm on that glorious 6 days straight. A part of me is like, shit, just add a day, make it a week, make it a clean week straight.
You're home. You're back to reality. I'm back to reality as well. After the wedding and the honeymoon and all that. So I feel like let's talk about, you know what? Let's kind of give a rundown of the wedding real quick before we get into the video games and the news and what we've been playing and stuff, because we've got a packed episode. A lot's been going on. But let's kind of talk about, we don't need to get super duper in depth or anything, but I do kind of want to talk about like your perspective on the wedding.
Okay. It all started 8 months ago.
Why 8 months ago?
I don't know. I just picked like a long, just a random like months ago. I mean, it was a shitty drive that I slept through.
Yeah, because that's the big thing is you made like, Todd coming from Chicago to Louisiana, that's a long drive.
And the thing is, like, we had to go and my family had to pick up our grandmother
in Kentucky.
So that was a 9-hour drive there. Then we stayed a day there. Then we had to do the 14 hours to Louisiana from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And that was split in two. And one of the hotel we stopped at was pretty shit.
Yeah, you guys were telling me about that in Alabama.
Pretty shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I was sleeping in the bed with my father. If he moved just a little bit, I would be on the floor.
I'll tell you this: when we were in Austin, the hotel that we stayed at in Austin, it was a nice hotel, but the bed was so bad, dude.
Here's the thing: I hate all hotel beds.
I've slept in decent hotel beds, though. Here's my thing: I don't like my bed to be too firm.
I like a good balance.
Yeah, I do too. Like the bed that we have at home, like it's maybe a little too soft, but for me it's right. I mean,
here's the thing: I rather a bed be too soft than too hard.
That's me too. That's me too. But like the bed that we slept on in Austin was so firm, dude. It was like sleeping on a concrete slab. It was like terrible.
Oh fuck that, all that.
Every night, dude. It got to the point where I literally was like, "Can I just like sleep in the chair?"
I actually was going to do that.
Yeah.
There was a chair in there, and I would have slept in it if they washed it. The thing was sticky.
Ooh.
It was real bad.
Ooh. I
was like, no. I'm gonna pass on that as I like rolled back into the bed. But yeah, it was I'm gonna talk about like the overall trip was good. It was a really, really fast 5 days.
Yeah, well, when you actually got here, it all went by pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice to so you came in on Tuesday, and you came in sort of like in the afternoon, evening.
Like 3 or 4 maybe.
Like 3 or 4 in the evening, and like we were just like, you know what, fuck it, let's go ahead and record some good content for these folks. So we recorded the live episode of Eats that went live last week, was recorded basically as soon as Todd got here.
Yes.
And so that was a lot of fun. And that, it's funny because like it's always a little bit weird. Usually, I guess, is a little bit weird whenever like you haven't seen each other in a while and now you're seeing each other in person. It wasn't really that weird for us though. I feel like
it's natural.
Yeah, and
it's all natural.
Yeah, and so like we went back to my place and recorded Eats and everything and did the world's hottest chocolate, which I think we still need to put that video together. I still need to send you that shit.
Yeah, I still need to put that shit together, edit it. I want to like edit it down.
We do have a video coming out where Todd and my wife. It's weird that I can say that now, but Todd and my wife actually ate the world's hottest chocolate bar. So that's going to be coming out maybe one day. Look forward to that.
If you just want to see me like sweating like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But no, I mean, like it was just a nice, like kind of. I would say that it was pretty chill until. I mean, we went to the zoo together in Houston. That was a nice day. I mean, the night was like kind of whatever. The drive home was bad, but
it was real bad.
But the actual. The actual day was pretty good. Got some Chick-fil-A out of it. So that was pretty good.
I definitely got some Chick-fil-A out of it.
And you had... We actually should talk about your first exposure to Whataburger.
See, we don't know if it is technically my first exposure.
Here's the deal. If you don't remember your first time, then this is your first time.
I'll say that. The moment I was told the price, I was like, shit.
Yeah, we did. We had this cycle of like treating each other, basically. where it's like we went out to dinner Tuesday night, and it's like, oh, we got you, Todd, or whatever, and then like
it was a cycle. Every time we like went out to eat, it's like, I got you this time.
Yeah, back and forth type shit. But then like we get to Whataburger, and like the price comes up, I'm like, Todd, are you sure?
As I'm like handing like the $40, I'm like, yes.
But what'd you think? Whataburger is one of my favorites.
Now, I feel like I compared it to Five Guys.
No, that's a mistake. It's a mistake.
It is a mistake, but it is a step below Five Guys, and I expected that.
It definitely is.
But it is still a very good experience. It is still a very solid burger. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And the real star of the show is the honey butter chicken biscuit.
Mm-hmm. So I basically told Todd, I was like, this is what you're gonna order. I basically gave Todd my standard Whataburger order, which is a double Whataburger with cheese, add bacon, and a honey butter chicken biscuit. And
it was a fantastic order.
That honey butter chicken biscuit, dude, is like that shit is like out of this world. That honey butter chicken biscuit, it's so good. It's sinful. It's sinful.
No, sinful is probably the best way to describe that fucking thing, because it was so good.
It sent you into a prayer state.
I reached nirvana eating that thing. Like, don't get me wrong, the burger is good. It was it's a top tier fast food burger.
The reason that I don't think you can compare it to like Five Guys is because it's more.
I don't consider Five Guys fast food.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's also just different styles of burger. Like Whataburger is more of that kind of like smash burger kind of style.
Yeah.
Where the patties are like thin and cooked very quickly, you know? Because everything at Whataburger is made to order.
Yeah.
So, but you know, Five Guys is obviously more of that typical, like kind of almost home style, thicker burger, you know?
And Five Guys, I saw the face of God eating it.
Oh, it's so good. Five Guys, between all of the big like competitors, like, you know, Shake Shack and In-N-Out, and Five Guys is definitely my favorite. Always has been. I love it. But so we exposed Todd to Whataburger. We tried to make sure that, you know, that's the thing about me that you need to understand. The second I cross that Texas border, I'm looking for the nearest Whataburger. I'm looking for that beautiful orange and white building the second I cross the border.
It's like 20, 30 minutes, I think, past the border.
Yeah.
You're hitting it, basically?
Something like that. The one in Jasper, Texas, basically, is the one that we usually stop at. The first one.
You actually also showed me the Cucumber Lime Gatorade.
That's true, too. Yeah, we stopped at like a gas station.
Which is like, I did not think I would like it, because it just sounds weird to me.
I'm telling you, it's my go-to Gatorade.
But damn, is it good.
It's my go-to Gatorade, dude. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
I wouldn't say it would be my go-to, but it's like, I'm not objected to drinking it.
It's definitely my go-to, because for me, Gatorade is a little like, I'll drink a Gatorade and I feel it's a little bit like, I don't know, a little cloying, like in my mouth. Like it leaves my mouth feeling weird usually. But that one is just really refreshing to me. Like I can actually just like drink that in conjunction with my water and I just feel really refreshed. So if I want something with a little more flavor to it than water when I'm at work, I always go for that. It's really good. How'd you like the Houston Zoo?
Oh, it's a fantastic zoo. I compare it to Brookfield by me.
Yeah, as opposed to like the Lincoln Park Zoo.
Oh yeah, the Lincoln Park's a little like, I feel like my parents went to the equivalent of the Lincoln Park.
Right, pretty much. That's pretty much a good example, yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun time. I feel like, does Anastasia still have that picture of our dumbasses in that cutout?
I think so, yeah.
That's some good shit. I need that shit.
I should ask her to send it to me. Yeah, I think she does still have that. Yeah.
Oh, it was good because we didn't know what the hell what it was.
Yeah. She's like we basically saw, it's one of those standees where it's like, you know, two face holes basically. And we saw it from the back. Anastasia was like, go ahead and put your heads in there. And so we did without knowing what it was. And it made for a pretty solid picture.
It was good.
but no, I mean, so like it was basically like a bunch of like kind of hangouty stuff until we got Dan in here. I think Dan came in Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night he came in.
Yeah, I think he legit came in the night that we did the 74.
Yes, so he came in Thursday night, and then we recorded episode 74, which was a great time. Like, basically just us drinking and chatting for like an hour and a half.
Shout out to Hibiki.
Oh, yes. I should have some right now, Todd. Rub it in your face.
Just drink it in my honor.
No, but we got some like top shelf Japanese whiskey and enjoyed that.
Literally, top shelf.
Quite literally, it was on the top shelf. And no, it was just a good time. Like, I actually, that episode's doing very well. So I appreciate you guys for supporting that, in spite of the fact that the audio quality is not what you're used to from us. It's just a fun hangouty episode. Like, it's fun for me. I've actually gone back and listened to it like twice because it allows me to sort of relive my bachelor party a little bit. Such as it was. I didn't really have like a bachelor party, but it was just kind of a hangout session with you and Dan.
I would have stripped for you if you asked.
You did get a little touchy there. That's the thing about you. I've noticed when you get drunk, you start to
I do get a little touchy.
You get a little touchy on me. I was like Todd's just gonna straight. I think at one point you like actually grabbed my ass.
I did.
So that happened.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It comes with like I occasionally I do that to another buddy of mine because I know it bothers him.
It didn't really bother me because at this point I'm just so used to the sexual tension between you and I.
Yes,
but but yeah, no,
it was boiling over.
Yeah, it was the elephant in the room, or rather, the two elephants in the room. Yeah, but it was just a good time. Like, we just kind of chilled out and just kind of like relaxed, and we just kind of chatted about various things. It was so funny typing out the kind of like, because you know how in the episode descriptions I always type out like what we talked about,
Yeah,
that is such an eclectic list of the things that we talked about.
From
shit. Like Black Panther to Donald Trump to Halo to like it was like
well, it's like each time we like toasted to something, it's like we kind of talked about that for a little bit.
Yeah, we made a habit of like we would toast to something and then like we would talk about whatever it was we toasted about. And by the end of it, I was like pretty fucked up.
I was pretty toasty. I mean, let me be real with you. It was the day that I was looking forward to the most because it was going. I knew for a fact it was going to be the best sleep of that trip.
Yeah, it probably knocked you out pretty cold.
Oh, it did knock me out, and the Three Stooges didn't keep me awake. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, it was pretty bad because like I just remember like after we had, because we did a whiskey tasting of like 6 or 7 different whiskeys.
Yes, and it was. I know them from heart by heart.
So let me see if I can remember it. It was Hibiki, Canadian Hunter, Jim Beam, Knob Creek, Elijah Craig, and Maker's Mark.
Yes.
I think that's all of them.
That is correct.
And then you also had the Kraken and the 99 Bananas.
Yes, I did.
So, but by the time we tasted, and like especially like a couple of them, I definitely had like a couple of glasses from. So I was pretty fucked up by the end of it, to the point where like after I had like 4 or 5 glasses, I stood up and I was like, whoa.
That's always the best part. Like when you're like, you don't think you're that fucked up until you stand up and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I felt totally fine until I actually it was to the point where I was like, I definitely could not have taken you guys home back to the hotel, which was right down the road.
Yeah.
So, but it was a good time, and then like obviously Friday, the day before the wedding, really.
I think we need to backtrack a little bit.
To what? What am I missing?
My favorite story that started the inside joke.
Oh, true.
Of the entire trip.
True. So what happened was we had a couple. So I had planned a couple of like kind of family dinners and stuff like that. Just kind of everybody, because I had people from all corners of my family, some of which I hadn't seen in like 10 years, that were coming down for the wedding. So I was like, let's get, everybody together and let's have dinner. We had dinner on Thursday, and then we had dinner on Friday with the wedding rehearsal, right? So on Thursday we had like my mom's. First of all, we need to stop for a second and talk. My mom made her spaghetti sauce, and let me. So I think I've actually mentioned my mom's spaghetti sauce maybe on the podcast.
We'll do the fucking cliff notes here. The man has been hyping this shit up for years to me.
Yes. You gotta understand.
It did not disappoint.
You gotta understand something. I'm an Italian boy. I'm a fat Italian boy. I'm a greasy fat wop. And and my Italian mother makes this fantastic spaghetti sauce, and I grew up with this sauce, right? So I have such fond memories of just like waking up, and just smelling it all throughout the house, because it goes for like as long as you want it to, like 10 to 12 hours usually. My mom is making this sauce.
It's too damn good.
So we had everybody over, and yeah, I've hyped this sauce up for years. I've recorded like videos where I just like open up the pot and show Todd what's inside. Because she puts like whole sausages and homemade meatballs and ribs in her sauce. It's so fantastic.
It's ridiculous. And then like it actually like it's another thing that kind of brought me to Nirvana when I was eating it. Mm-hmm. I'm just sitting there like, oh.
And it's hilarious because we all went out for barbecue like a few hours before, and like I still was like, I'm gonna have like 2 plates of the spaghetti.
That's exactly what I did.
I wasn't even like that hungry, like before we went to my mom's house.
But I felt obligated after the first plate.
After I actually sat down with it, I was like, yeah, I'm having 2 plates of this. Mm-hmm. The sauce, again, I grew up with it. I've been hyping it up for years, and it did not disappoint. Did not disappoint. Yeah, I think that was like the first thing you said to me. You're like, this is the best sauce I've ever had.
It was, like, easily.
It's so good, dude. But so anyway, we're getting off track. So we had everybody together. What you have to understand, I'm not going to try to get like too in depth here with the, situations or whatever, but my grandma, our granny, she had not seen any of my sister's kids. My sister has 3 boys. One of them is 8, one of them is 2, and one of them is about to turn 1. She hasn't seen any of them before, right? For various reasons that I won't get into. So this has been kind of her first chance to see them, and when she first saw my nephew Sean, the 8-year-old, she hugged him and just kind of broke down. I think just the weight of like wow, I have an 8-year-old great grandson that I'm just now meeting for the first time. You could tell it really hit her. So she was like, she was hugging him and crying and stuff like that. And Todd just looks at me flat faced, completely monotone, and you just said,
absolutely heartwarming.
And that just became like, because when you have all these people together that some of these people haven't seen each other in years. I mean, how long has it been since my mom and your mom have seen each other, since my mom and granny have seen each other, and
real shit.
I mean, like, so these people are seeing each other again for the first time in years.
Well, it's like at that point you could easily say it's been like probably closer to like 20. Actually,
they saw each other at Papa's funeral.
Yeah,
but
I forgot at Papa's funeral. I always forget about
Papa's
that.
funeral.
Block that depressing shit.
Papa's funeral is probably the last time that a lot of these people did see. The only time that these people have seen each other in like 20 years. You know, so it was nice to see all these people from different facets of my life come together for one reason, and so there were several moments during the whole experience of the wedding where it was just like Todd and I were just absolutely heartwarming. But the day of the wedding was just a total shit show. Like, the wedding itself wasn't a shit show. Like, I felt like that all went well for the most part.
For the most part.
There are a few hiccups, but you know what? I feel like the hiccups kind of gave it personality a little bit.
That's a good way. That's a good way of looking at it. If you're a fucking idiot, I'm just playing.
Well, I just like if it had just been a clean, like normal, nice, like professional grade ceremony, like it wouldn't have felt right to me.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, my wife had Rick Astley in her wedding vows. So,
to be honest with you, that shout out, that was like easily the highlight of the wedding.
That shit killed me.
Like,
I wasn't expecting that.
Dude, Dude, dead ass. I was sitting there trying not to just full on just like start laughing my ass off next to you.
And I knew what she was doing the second that she went for it.
No, dude. The second she started talking, I was like, is she doing this?
It was hilarious. And I think it took some other people in the audience a little while, but like once they caught
dude, I caught that shit instantly. I've been rickrolled too many times.
And it's funny, man. Like I won't get into like all the stress that I'll tell you that I put in basically a 24-hour day on the day of the wedding. Mm-hmm. Between setting everything up at the venue and running around getting like the cake and the bouquets and like running around getting things for the bridesmaids.
Can I I'm gonna say this. I felt like I held some important shit in my hands, and I was hoping it wouldn't fuck up in my hands. Is the cake?
Right. Because
dude, like when I was like looking in through like the little like fucking handle, I'm like, this fucker's leaning.
It actually wasn't, surprisingly.
I think it was just like an optical illusion. Yeah. Like the way I was looking at it, I was like, is this shit
surprisingly, it actually was not leaning. It actually was totally fine when we got it there.
I think I was just worried. I was like, no, don't.
It was just, dude, like we arrived at the venue, like after I got everything done I had like 5 minutes before I was supposed to be taking pictures.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was, that shit was ridiculous. Like we're looking at the time. It's like I got pictures at 2. It's like,
yeah, it was rough, dude. So it was just go all day long, and like it's weird. Like when you are the groom, or when you are the bride or whatever, when you are basically the two main people, like it's essentially like throwing a big party, and you kind of feel like you have to like spend equal time with everybody. It's like a lot of spinning plates, you know? So we were just kind of bouncing around between everybody, you know, and in between like dancing and taking pictures and talking to people and, you know, just like socializing with friends and family. It was like a really like just socially exhausting day.
Oh yeah,
like that's like I'm not used to having to like talk to that many people, you know, and engage with that many people in a single day. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining or anything, but it was just like, you know, it's just something that I'm not used to having to do. It was funny though, because I told myself, you know, and we'll get into this more. You know, we were gonna have an episode where it was Anastasia and I talking about the wedding, but we decided to nix that idea because I want there to be a little bit of like mystery behind the wedding. I don't want to go into like full details, but also I think that would be a better suited discussion for another project that my wife and I are working on. So that I'll announce later when it's done and ready. But but yeah, so it was funny because I kept telling myself, "Oh, I'm not gonna cry."
Oh my, okay. I will take the reins for this. Holy shit, this was hilarious to me. So, as I get up next to Seth, I kind of just, I'm just get my hands crossed. I look over to him. I'm like, "You gonna cry?" He's just like, "No, I'm good. No, I'm good." 2 seconds fucking later.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. You know, the music was great. Like we also, there was kind of a light Zelda theming to my wedding. So like the wedding party, we all walked down to an orchestral version of the Zelda theme, right?
It felt fucking epic walking down to that shit.
It was pretty epic, right? And then afterwards, Anastasia, you know, the timing was like fine for us, but like Anastasia's timing was perfect. Because she walked down to an orchestral version of the Fairy Fountain theme, and it was just perfect. Like, she kind of rounded the corner with her dad, and like the music swelled just at the right time, and it just hit me. Like, it was weird, because like, so, you know, I was my dad's best man when he married my mom, and like, he was crying, just blubbering uncontrollably, basically, when my mom walked down the aisle. And I'll never forget that. And I always asked him, like why? And he was like, I was overcome. Like, I just couldn't help it. And I understand that now, because when I saw her walking down the aisle like that, like with the music and everything, it just like completely...
It was just, it's clear as day, it was just a perfect moment.
It was a perfect... If anything in the wedding went perfectly, I'm glad it was that, you know?
Yeah.
and like it just fucking like hit me like a freight train, and I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna cry.
Let's like, I said this to myself, was like, I was just like, my cold, dead, emotionless ass. I teared up a bit. Like, it was a beautiful wedding.
When you're standing there, and you're just like, you know, the reality of it all is just hitting you when you see her walking down the aisle and the music is swelling, and like you're just seeing like a sea of all of your closest, you know, friends and family there. It was just a really powerful emotional moment, you know.
Yeah. Pretty sure I said absolutely heartwarming up there.
Probably.
I said it a lot.
Absolutely heartwarming. It was really the motto of the entire experience.
It did. It definitely
absolutely
was. It was absolutely
heartwarming. Yeah, and then like it was a really good wedding. I liked it a lot.
I think we need to backtrack. I want to talk about how shitty that rehearsal was.
The rehearsal was totally like slapdash.
Oh, I think it definitely was, because nobody fucking remembered how to fucking leave.
That was funny, because like, you know, so I thought it was kind of, because I explained to everybody during the rehearsal that we were basically the opposite of when we came in.
Well, here's the thing. I technically remembered that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm one of the ones going, I'm going to be basically going last, and I'm like, I'm just going to say this shit in front of everybody.
But I kind of liked that, though. It was kind of like, I thought it gave it a little bit of charm, that it was a little bit like, you know, that nobody was like it wasn't completely professional. You know?
Yeah, because we definitely, it was like we kind of winged it.
Yeah.
At the end there.
Yeah, which is fine. You know, which is totally fine. I don't know.
And I even actually said this. I actually did say this when I was up there. I was just like, because it was after you guys were like, I think after you guys left, I was like, we didn't cover this in the rehearsal.
We technically did, but I was like, you know, I thought it was kind of straightforward. We're just leaving the opposite way that we came in.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, like,
I think we ended up like leaving in pairs, I think.
Which is fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But it was, overall, it was, and then like, yeah, it was like just, you know, Trav, you're supposed to play this song. Go play the song.
Yeah, I had to like go bounce off for a second. I'm like, hey, if we run out of time, play it again and shit.
Right. So, but you know, it wasn't like a disaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was worried that something was going to go like horribly wrong on my wedding day.
That's I'm happy. Like nothing like serious happened, which is good.
No.
Just like little hiccups and shit. That was about it.
Little hiccups, but I was ultimately fine with it. The things that I thought were going to go wrong actually went perfectly. Mm-hmm. So I was happy for that. We had really good food.
But you didn't let me talk about your shit. Your fucking. I'm not talking about the fact of the rehearsal. I'm talking about your shitty Louisiana heat with your rehearsal.
Oh yes. So,
bro,
we did the rehearsal.
That was the worst shit.
Yeah, we did the rehearsal in my parents' backyard, and man, it was so hot outside. It was like, it was weird.
Holy shit! I was down. Dude, like honestly, I think I was pretty much soaking by the end of it.
Dude, well, like here's the deal. Like it was like 60 the day before, and it was like 60 the day of my wedding, and raining and stuff. The day of the rehearsal on Friday,
it's like 80.
It was like in the high 80s, totally sunny. It's like, what the fuck?
Fucking
we were all
Ryan
drenched.
Like rubbed his head on my shirt.
Yeah. Dude, we were all drenched by the end of it. I was just like, I was like, can we do this inside?
Some real shit.
But like that's why I only ran through it all twice. Anastasia was like, let's go again. I was like, fuck no, let's not go again.
Let's say I want to go inside.
Let's go inside and cool
like,
off.
Dude, let me tell you right now. When we walked in, the air conditioned, like, you know, after you've been in the heat for that long.
Yes.
Holy shit! It felt like
heavenly.
It felt orgasmic walking back into the house.
It's so we bought so much shit too that like we didn't need this soda. Do we still have soda?
I know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think people like drink as much soda as you thought.
Yeah, I thought people were gonna. Well, and I wanted to have options, you know. So we had like a ton of drinks. We had a whole extra like case of water, bunch of sodas.
Shout out to the gumbo.
Oh yes. So my wedding menu, my mom made gumbo, my dad made brisket. We had a rice, potato salad. There was a salad bar up there, a bunch of different dressing options, bunch of different sauces.
Shout out to the jalapeno mayonnaise.
Yeah, so my dad basically brought like bread so you could make like a brisket sandwich, you know. And it was, I mean, like, shout out to my parents. I mean, my parents helped a lot, there towards the end, and they took care of all the food, and and my dad helped set up a great deal. It got to the point where I literally had to like force my dad to go home and get changed. Because like my dad, he was still there at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I had to call him. I was like, Dad, you got to go.
What was it? What other shit was he like setting up basically?
Well, he was setting up little things, but he was also like he wanted to stay because this is another thing we should talk about. So we hid these little plushy Koroks.
Oh yeah. We had like the random people coming in and fucking with them.
We hid these random Koroks around the venue. I had 18 Koroks that we hid around the venue in various places. And we all hid them that morning, and I took note of where they were hidden and stuff like that. Almost all of them actually were found. So
the only one that technically the last one to get found was actually one of mine.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious. Dude, that one was like in front of people.
Yeah.
Like, it was in the pine cone,
right.
Like a thing on the pine cone table thing.
Right. I think, and then some of them were kind of like given away, basically.
Yeah.
So, and people like, some people turned them in to me for prizes. Some people kept them as wedding favors and stuff like that, which is fine. But, during that morning when we were setting them up, so I got married in a state park, which is a public place, So we actually were warned about that by the park officials. It's like, look, you guys are getting married in a state park. Like, we can't tell people not to come. We can't. It's a public place. Like, we can't stop people from coming to your wedding. Basically, you're getting married literally in the visitor center. So it's like we can't. People may walk through, and we can't stop that. It's not illegal or anything like that. Now, we got lucky. Nobody intruded on the ceremony or anything like that. But definitely that morning during the day, we had people who were coming in to hike and stuff like that, walking through and looking at it and everything. And they were finding the Koroks, and I guess people were like trying to take them. Mm-hmm. They're just like, look, honey, a gift from the forest. And my dad was like, that's for the wedding. It's like, Jesus, guys. Like, you guys couldn't just assume that if you saw something hanging out.
It's funny, as I had that fear. Like, after we like hid them all, I'm like, they're going to get taken.
Yeah. And it was so funny. Dude, Anastasia and I have gone up there so many times, like, leading up to the wedding. We've probably been up there 7 or 8 times. And we will maybe see, like, one other person out there. And, of course, on my wedding day, we saw, like, 5 or 6 motherfuckers coming in to go hiking on our wedding day. But, it all worked out. There was some, like, definitely last minute stuff, because, like, there's stuff that needed to get set up, but, like, I had to go and get pictures done. So it was like, hey guys, I know you've already been here for a little while, but the guest book's here now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, though, it all worked out. It was a good time overall. We had our s'mores bar set up after dinner was done. That was nice. We had a good time.
Let me talk about something.
Okay.
The chocolate graham cracker with a cookies and cream bar s'more was fantastic.
Yeah, I had one of those. It was good.
Like, I didn't think it would be that good. I was like, I almost went back for more.
I
didn't.
The s'mores bar in general was a big hit. I kind of wish that I had more fires set up. Even though I had 4 fires set up, there was such a line to the s'mores bar.
Yeah, it's a damn shame we couldn't do it like where
the actual fire
with like the actual fire.
There was an actual fire pit at the venue that I wanted to use, but it was raining all day, which they say is good luck. They say it's good luck to have rain on your wedding day. So I don't know. It's hilarious though, because like people have been asking me, especially now that I'm like back to work and stuff. They're like, oh, so like how does it feel? Is it different? I'm like, no, it's like literally exactly the same. I'll say this. If there's any difference at all, I feel older, weirdly, now that I'm married. Like, I feel more mature, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, being able to say my wife and stuff like that just makes me feel older.
Say it the way you've been saying.
My wife.
It's like, that's the only way I've ever heard you say it lately.
It just makes me feel older. It's weird. And I won't get into my honeymoon too much because it's that would add another hour to this podcast. But
oh, I definitely fucking would.
But I had a good honeymoon in Austin, and had a good time there. And the thing that really got to me the most, I guess, being at the wedding is like, I don't think anybody but my wife and I can truly understand how hard it was to put that wedding together. Like, it was the hardest thing either of us had ever done, and like the past year of our lives basically had been spent every like free moment. And I mean, you know this, every free moment that we basically
well,
had.
That's the thing. The only reason I know so much about it is because I talk to you almost every day. So it's like,
yeah, but I mean, like, it was constantly stressful and hard and expensive, and just it was so fucking like, it was like so bad, dude. Like, just I feel like my wife and I, we feel like we're like war buddies. Like, we like went through hell. We went through hell together to get this wedding set up, and it was nice to see that it was worth it. You know what I mean? Like, it was nice to see everybody having a good time. We had several people compliment us on like the decor and stuff like that. Like, Dan's dad actually in particular was really impressed by everything.
Oh yeah.
He was telling me like several times, he's like, wow, like you guys did like a great job. Like, this is beautiful. I love the idea of the guest book. My guest book was like a clock that people were signing the face of. So he was like, I think that's like a great idea. And just everybody was like really impressed. And it was a really nice, like, imagine just like spending the past year of your life, more than a year actually, setting this thing up, and then like having people actually enjoy what you've been working so hard on was a really nice experience. So
I had to tie into the heartwarming on the guest book.
yeah. Todd signed the guest book and just wrote heartwarming. Absolutely heartwarming. Anyway, I think that about covers what I wanted to talk about with the wedding. So I guess now that we're halfway, we're at the halfway mark here, maybe we can talk about some video games. And back to your regularly scheduled content, folks. How do we want to tackle this? Do we want to start with Red Dead?
I feel like we should save that for the last, because that's gonna be the biggest. I think that's gonna be the biggest topic.
Well, let's start off then by talking about the Fallout 76 beta that we both played.
Yes, let's do it.
How'd you feel about it? So we started playing it. There was a couple of beta kind of time frames, like 4-hour time frames. I would say that we played for like 2.5, 3 hours of that 4 hours.
Yeah, something like that. We didn't play for that. We didn't play for that long, but it was enough to sell me on the game, basically.
Yeah, like I kind of told Todd once we were approaching that final sort of hour, I was like, I'm kind of good. Not like in a way of like I'm kind of good, like I don't like this. It was the opposite. It was like I'm kind of good, like I've seen what I need to see. I'm good,
Yeah, and it's like I'm ready for the main game to come out and actually sit there and play it. It plays exactly like I expected. It's co-op Fallout. It's great. Like,
yeah.
And there's a little like optimization issues. Like, they need to like there's some definite little like spikes of shit going on there.
Yeah,
with some lag.
That was probably my single biggest issue. I mean, I have a couple of issues with the game, but the optimization of it was definitely a problem for me. Like, it just didn't run that well.
Let's talk about the biggest issue. They need to cut out the fucking animations for using the crafting workbenches, anything in the game. They need to cut out the fucking thing and allow multiple people to use it at once.
Yeah, so what Todd means is like, so say that you have a quest that requires you to cook something at a cooking station. If there is somebody else using that cooking station, you have to wait for them to be done before you can do it.
Because they really want to do the animation. Just cut that shit out and allow everyone to use it.
Well, what's frustrating, Todd, is that say that situation is happening, but you need to use like a terminal. Then all that happens is multiple people can use the terminal because you just pull up your Pip-Boy and you just interact with it in that way. Exactly. It's like, why couldn't I do that for anything? Just use that for everything.
It's dumb. It was a dumb thing that actually, like, that's like the major thing that actually kind of pissed me off about the game.
I'm telling you, like, that's gonna be a big problem. I think the only way that you can really get around that is with your camp, like your mobile base. which would be fine. But early on in the game, like, you don't really have the resources to sit there and make a cooking station in your base or whatever.
No, hell no. That shit's like, that's gonna be like, that's actually one of the things I am looking forward to is like finding a place in the world and making like a little settlement.
Yeah, well, and you can, and the nice thing is you can spend like 5 caps to pick it up and move it wherever you want. So, I really like that idea. I mean, like I said, there's some optimization issues. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the NPC thing, because, and much has been made about this. The game has got no human NPCs at all. Well, let me rephrase that. It has human NPCs, but they're all dead. And you're basically listening to audio logs. You're getting quests via...
Yeah, you're listening to audio logs. You get all your quests from, like, terminals and all that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I see why they did it, but it is, like, Fallout is made by the NPCs, honestly. So it is kind of a weird move.
I'm of two minds about it, because on one hand, I don't think I agree that Fallout is made by the NPCs. I think it's more about the setting. But it's it's just weird to me that there's literally nobody, like, the reason why they did it is because there would be some griefers who would sit there and try to kill the NPCs you needed to talk to, stuff like that. And what else are they going to do? Make them unkillable? People would bitch about that too.
No, yeah. This is the only way it would technically work.
Yeah. So I they took the lesser of two evils. I understand that. I don't know. Something about it feels off to me. Not because I think the game necessarily needs NPCs. I don't know. It's just a weird vibe. It's a weird vibe to not have anybody to really interact with, other than like robots, like Mr. Handies around the world and shit.
But on the upside, I really enjoyed like kind of exploring with you. That was just like a fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, like it's nice because like it is a Bethesda game where you're in a big, pretty... I mean, like, I really liked the landscape of West Virginia. Like, it all was very pretty, and it was fun to walk around and explore.
Yep.
And, like, in many, many ways, it just feels like a co-op Bethesda game, which is the best thing about it, right? I really like the way... I thought the way they handled VATS was really smart.
It was... I think I said it while we were playing, and I'm like, it's the only way it could technically work.
Yeah, and that is to say that when you enter VATS, basically you have a percentage of hitting. You're basically auto-aiming with it. So time does not stop or slow down or anything like that, because they couldn't make that work in an online game. But you're basically... You don't have to aim at all for the to hit the creature. You just have a percentage of hitting it, which is cool. I liked that. I like the perk card system.
Yeah, that's actually it's interesting. I do like the way that works. So like, it is still like an RPG, There
are certainly going to be like builds,
Yes.
Like that. I think that's something that a lot of people were worried about, is they're going to take away some of the individuality of like Fallout games and making your build.
No. Like I think everybody's going to have like, because again, you're like the way you were setting yourself up as like a support.
Yeah, I was kind of like a support character because my perks were stuff like Todd and I would take less damage when we were in a team together, and we would gain more experience in a team together. So my build was sort of built around team play. And that was really cool. Like, I really liked that. I liked being able to... Because I don't really plan on playing the game by myself at all. Maybe a little, I guess. But for the most part, I plan on basically just playing it with you. So it was like, let me build my character to be better when I'm playing with you. And I liked that a lot. Like, I felt like there was a good amount of customization to all of that stuff. There's still the good old weapon, crafting and upgrading and all that. That's all back. Did you really mess with that at all?
What in the beta? Yeah, I did. I made like some shit.
Yeah, I put I put some stuff on my rifle. I'll say this. I like the kind of like MMO-y things that the game has. Like we found like an old like mining facility or something like that we went into, and like it kind of felt like a little dungeon or something, or a little like When you're playing WoW and you find a little cave and there's maybe a rare monster in there or something like that. The game has stuff like that. Where we saw a lighthouse, for example, and we're like, let's go check out that lighthouse, and there was kind of a boss there.
It was like a level 9 motherfucker that like ran out on it.
Yeah, and we found like a scrap of paper inside of a building that advertised the world's biggest teapot or whatever. So it's like, oh, let's go check that out. And then there was an event quest happening there that other players could jump in and play with. And it just the game's fun. Like, I like it. A lot of people have been down on this beta, but I think it's pretty good. I mean, I think it's gonna be a fun game to stream. I think that's definitely something that we're planning on doing. And I don't know. I came away from that beta pretty happy with it.
Yep, same.
I have my little issues with it. I really hope that it's a little more optimized. I don't have high hopes for that, but because the game's coming out in like 2 weeks at this point. So it's like, how much work are they really going to do to it? I would like it to be more optimized. Maybe that's something that they'll work on in the future. But, I came away from that beta pretty pleased and pretty excited to play more. So we'll see. Was there anything else? So I have a couple of games that I've been playing.
This isn't something that we've been playing, but I do want to get how you feel about this. Is Diablo Immortal.
Oh, so yeah, I wanted to talk about the BlizzCon news in general. Maybe this will just be a good time to just touch on that. Let's take a second to just talk about BlizzCon and some of the announcements from it. Yeah, so one of the things they announced at BlizzCon, which just happened yesterday at the time of this recording, is Diablo Immortal, which is a mobile Diablo game for phones. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I mean, the idea of a mobile game is kind of cool, but it's been getting some backlash.
I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty good. Now, here's the thing that people don't understand is Blizzard has said multiple times that they have multiple Diablo projects in the works, and they are certainly, at least in the planning stages, at least in pre-production, if not in full production of Diablo 4 or whatever the next year. This is not...
I think this is just a good way of getting a little, new taste of Diablo into the world.
This is not a full-on new Diablo game,
I think it's taking place between 2 and 3.
It does, yeah. It takes place between 2 and 3. Not all of the classes from 3 are returning. The Witch Doctor is out. I believe it's Crusader, Demon Hunter, Wizard, Necromancer, and Monk. I think and Barbarian. Those are the returning classes.
Well, they cut off the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, so the Witch Doctor's not returning, but a lot of the other classes are. So, and here's my whole thing is I don't really play games on mobile too much. I fuck around with Pokemon Go a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not really a mobile gamer.
But I think this does look pretty good. I mean, all things considered. Considering that it is a mobile game, it looks like a very just simplified Diablo, and a lot of people are bummed out by that. But I don't think there's anything wrong, Todd, with having a simplified version of games. So this goes into another game that I'm looking forward to, which is Pokemon Let's Go, which is a simplified version of Pokemon, and a lot of hardcore Pokemon fans are like, well, what the fuck? I don't want to play this baby version of Pokemon or whatever. And I'm like, well, then don't. But, why are you mad at the existence of it? If there's a more casual Diablo game for, mobile gamers, if it's not for you, then just don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not taking the place of Diablo 4. Pokemon Let's Go is not taking the place of a proper Gen 8.
I'll say this. I would understand the backlash if this was legitimately taking the place of Diablo 4.
Yeah, if Blizzard said, oh, brand new Diablo game, fuck Diablo 4, it's all about Diablo Immortal. No.
At that point, I'd be more understanding, but it's just just don't play it.
If Blizzard...
again, Diablo, there's a lot of people that don't like 3.
Right. Well, basically whatever Blizzard does gets some sort of backlash from fans. Yeah, because
I know, I always see it, when I'm on, something Diablo related. They're like, oh, 3 was trash.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, it's funny. And Blizzard takes this stuff in stride, but they just... people are being way too harsh on this. I personally think it looks pretty cool. I pre-registered for it, so I do. I probably will get into the beta for it because I get beta invites for basically every Blizzard game. So hopefully I can try out the beta whenever that happens. I don't know if they said when it's launching. I don't know if they're talking about it launching this year or not. Hopefully the beta at least comes out this year because I want to try it. Like I want to give it a fair shake. If it's solid, I would love to have a little Diablo thing on my phone to play while I'm standing in line at Star Wars or when I'm when I'm in at the movie theater or something, whenever I'm waiting in line at the movie theater or whatever the case may be. It'd be nice to pop in and just like play a little simple Diablo thing. And people are being mad about the simplicity of it, and I'm just like, dude, do you really want a super complicated Diablo game on your phone?
Fuck no.
I hardly...
mobile games are supposed to be simple.
They have to be simple. They have to be. Like, what are they going to put, like, 17 buttons on the face of your phone? It's like a 5-inch screen.
Shit.
So I guess the layout of it, I think you have like 6 skills, and they basically have like they take up kind of the right side of the screen, and rather than them using mana or essence or whatever the case may be, they have cooldowns now, right?
Okay.
So people are mad about that because it's like, why would the wizard shit be on a cooldown? You should be able to just spam it as long as you have enough mana or whatever.
Because it just makes it a universal thing. It's like. Come on.
The thing about it is, so like that, I'm sure that a character like the wizard, right, is going to have a shorter cooldown on her spells or whatever the case may be, and I'm sure you can spec yourself to make the cooldowns even shorter. There is, each character does have a skill tree. They have said that, but so it just, to me, it's a little ridiculous. Like there was a guy, I think the first person who went up for the Diablo Immortal Q&A. Did you see this?
I did not. I think I could have watched it, but I just didn't care enough to.
I didn't watch it, but I saw the clip of this. So they started up the Diablo Immortal Q&A, and the first person comes up to the mic, and it's this it's this dork who's just like, so my question is this like an off-season April Fool's joke?
God bless.
The first question, it's like, Jesus, dude. So yeah. So anyway, I think it's a cool idea personally. But just to quickly talk about some of the other BlizzCon news, I was gonna kind of do like kind of a news segment to end the show, but we'll talk about this now that we're here. How do you feel about the new Overwatch character Ashe?
Looks great, and I am with a lot of people. I do wish we were getting Bob.
Yeah, Bob is sort of her big robot companion who I guess
but
is her
I
ult.
am interested in how that ult will work because he's basically going to be Ashe's ult.
I imagine it's going to be, I mean, this isn't confirmed because she's not on the PTR yet. I guess people at BlizzCon are able to play with her. I'm assuming that he's just going to be a passive ult that stays out for 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the deal. Like you can like basically, I think his initial thing is like he'll charge forward and that'll bring out the guns on his arms.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I kind of like the idea of a passive ult that like you don't really have to, I don't want to say that you don't have to have skill for, but it's like you don't have to worry about it,
Well, I think her playstyle is definitely going to be
her playstyle is going to be very heavily skill based. Yeah.
I love the idea of her weapon. They have the fast hip fire, then the more damaging like precision shots. She's like a good hybrid between like a sniper and like a McCree basically.
Yeah, she's basically like a combination Widowmaker and McCree almost.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. And then I love the coach gun. That's gonna be fun to fuck with.
And it looks like you can actually use it to propel yourself too.
Yes, you can.
Just like Junkrat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's gonna be honestly. I haven't played that game in God knows how long. But
I'm quite looking forward to trying her out, though.
That's my thing. In a way, I don't really play damage characters that often. That one might be a damage character I might actually enjoy.
Same,
because it's funny. Is like one of the only damage characters I actually enjoy is McCree, actually.
Right.
And this looks like a way better kit for me. So.
Yeah. Her, and then she obviously has like the dynamite.
And you can actually shoot it to make it explode instantly.
Yes. So I don't know.
And
Like she looks
that's
fun.
actually gonna do damage over time. It's gonna like set them on fire and shit.
Oh, nice. She looks fun, dude. I'm wondering what her. I'm looking forward to reading about like some of her. Like, what are the cooldowns like? What is her health like? You know what I mean?
It's gonna probably be like 200.
You think it's gonna be 200?
Well, that's a standard
That's
attack.
low.
What, you think 150?
I thought standard was 250.
Is it? I think it was like 200. It might be
thought-
250. It's been a minute, sir.
Yeah,
and
it
also
has,
I play tank. I live at the 600 level.
It has. I mean, I thought even Zenyatta had like 250.
I don't know. The attacks are like in the 250, 200 range.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't normally play attack, man. I play tank, so I'm like sitting there at like the 500 plus type of shit.
Yeah, same. So I don't know. I think she looks really cool though, and that video was definitely cool.
I think I was telling you this before. I'm more interested in the robot at the end.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. So they've actually changed it. McCree's health is 200. Zenyatta's health is fucking 50.
50.
50. Jesus.
50?
Yes. According to
50?
the Overwatch wiki here.
Does he have like the shield?
So that's without the shield. That's without the shield. So like he starts off with 50 basically, but he basically has a constant shield that's always growing and regenerating based on his orbs.
Fuck that. Is that new?
Well, yeah, they've changed his health several times. Mercy's 200 health.
I think the thing with Zenyatta, they're trying to find a balance because that motherfucker shreds people.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. That's the main reason I like Zenyatta. Zenyatta's filthy.
Yeah, so I think we can probably expect 200 because McCree and Hanzo's health is 200.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can definitely see a 200.
Yeah, I think 200 is probably, and yeah, Widowmaker is 200. So I think we should probably expect 200 for her health range.
Maybe we'll actually play some Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've said this several times. It's the game that we love the most but play the least.
Yep.
And I'll say this: I am looking forward to seeing her skins. So.
Oh yeah, same. Because I think Bob obviously is gonna have.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be connected to that as well. I think.
Well, it's sort of like the corollary is sort of like Diva and her mech.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. Is her hero select screen gonna have Bob there too?
I think it has to.
Yeah.
I think it deadass has to.
A couple other little tidbits from BlizzCon. So they're doing a remaster of Warcraft 3, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I saw you post about that.
Oh my god, I love Warcraft 3. I don't know, part of me would love for you to play it because that's where you get a lot of like good crucial Warcraft lore. But I don't know if you'd like it because it is.
Probably
I mean,
not.
it is an RTS.
And that's Daddy doesn't like RTS.
So, true. I do think that Warcraft 3 is a very accessible RTS, as it were. Like, I think if there were a RTS that you would get into, it would be like this or like Halo Wars,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not a huge RTS fan, but I loved Warcraft 3, and it's just a great game, and it's going to include Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne as well. So,
oh shit,
I'm very, very looking forward to it.
Those crucial lore tidbits.
Oh yes, I believe they're releasing it for like $30 too.
That's not bad.
So that's coming in next year. So very looking forward to that. They announced that WoW Classic is launching next summer.
Are you gonna fuck with that?
I think I might. I'm a little bit worried by some of the language that they're using.
Oh no,
because it's weird. So they say that, WoW Classic is launching in 2019. The cool thing is that WoW subscribers are going to have access to it for free, which is nice.
Technically not for free.
Yeah, I guess, but it's cool that like if you want to play WoW Classic, you're also going to be able to just play WoW if you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The weird thing to me about it is that some of the language they're using is like, oh, it's WoW Classic, but with some of the crucial changes that we've made to the game over its history.
What?
So I'm like, does that mean that you're gonna like? Is the shitty talent system gonna be in there? Like
that's a major like turnoff.
Yeah, is the shitty economy? I want it to be the old economy, the old talent system. Like I want it to be like the old ways where it's like if you were riding a mount, you were a badass. You know?
Because I would be interested in fucking with WoW Classic, but the moment if I see it's like the new talent system, I would hate it.
I'm not interested.
I can't. I started playing WoW with the old talent system basically, and it's like I hated when they switched to the new.
Yeah,
shit.
you got a little taste of it before they switched over, basically. So
Now it's like whenever I jump on there, like like they fucking killed my paladin for me.
yeah, the current talent system is a joke, and that would be
Like, I can't.
if I took over WoW, that would be the first thing to go.
Yeah.
That'd be the first.
I always said to myself, if I ever play WoW again, I'd have to like respec and actually go protection paladin.
If I ever played WoW again seriously, I would just stick with my Demon Hunter at this point.
That's honestly where I'm at too. It's just like 'cause I had so much fun with that demon hunter, and like I always said it. I'm like surprisingly good tank.
It is, and it's Demon Hunter is a fun class. I'm trying to find an actual quote about WoW Classic just to sort of dissect their language here. There's also a couple of people who have actually played it, so maybe I'll have to look at some of these impressions for the demo for WoW Classic just to see if people have answers to those questions. Because that's what I'm really curious about. That's going to sort of determine if I'm interested in it or not. If it is literally exactly what I want, then great. Yeah, it says right here, World of Warcraft Classic is a modern reinterpretation of the vanilla version of the legendary, massively multiplayer online role-playing game first released in 2004. The goal is to roll back the clock on the game's lore and allow players to experience the beginning of the franchise all over again. However, fans will benefit from all of the back-end improvements and changes made to the game over the years. So that part is what gets me worried. I want it to be how it used to be before these you whippersnappers got in here. They also announced another Hearthstone expansion at BlizzCon. I don't really care about that because I don't really play Hearthstone anymore. But that was pretty much the gist of what was announced at BlizzCon. That's actually noteworthy. Kind of a tame BlizzCon, to be honest. I was kind of expecting them to maybe give some hints at like maybe the next WoW expansion. I know that they just had the last one just came out or whatever, but it would have been nice. Would have been nice to get a little something, Anyway, that was BlizzCon. I do want to talk about real quick. So, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a lot lately. Just sort of because, we'll get into this, I guess, towards the end, but another game didn't really do it for me.
Quick tangent. It does seem like the talent tree is the old way.
Good.
From what I was reading.
Good. But yeah, there was a big game that I was expecting to take up a lot of my time that, I didn't really get into as much as I thought I would, so
it did take up my time.
And we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But so, I was looking for another kind of big kind of thing to sink my teeth into, and I've always been interested in jumping into Xenoblade Chronicles cuz I liked the first one. I didn't play X on Wii U, but I did enjoy the first one on Wii. And now I'm playing 2 on Switch, and it's good. I like it a lot. I think you were saying that you were halfway interested.
I've actually had an interest in that game because I just think I remember like seeing like the trailers for it. I'm like, it looked interesting, like the setting of it at least.
The setting is very cool. The story is very cool. Like I was kind of telling you a little bit about the story setup is interesting and kind of like more dark than I expected it to be. So basically the setup is like there are these titans, the kind of, and this was true of the first game too. Basically the entirety of the game's landmass is all on the backs of these titans, these giant living beings. And so like cities and wilderness and like just, caves and shit, all on the backs of these living creatures. Here's the thing. There's only 2 of them left. And, sort of the implications are like, like what's happening to these Titans and what are we going to do when there's no more landmass for us to live on, right? So the main character's goal is to sort of like, he wants to figure out like, what's been happening to the Titans and where are we going to go? We kind of need to look somewhere else to find another place to stay, another place for us to live and settle. So it's interesting and it's darker than I expected it to be. I like, I'm a Majora's Mask fan. I like these stories about existential dread. But my only real, it's got a lot of the weeb melodrama for sure. It's got a lot of that good old shonen, anime tropes, the power of friendship and all that good shit. You got your typical, there's a little bit of like that typical anime fan service, but it's interesting. So I like the concept of drivers and blades, because drivers, your main character is a driver, and blades are sort of like collectible allies / weapons. So like, it's weird. So I have so your main blade, her name is Pyra, that you meet early in the game, and so you have like this sword that is connected to Pyra, and you have her there as a support character while you're wielding her sword, and you can do special moves depending on which blade you're using. You can have like up to I think 4 blades equipped at a time, and you can on the fly in combat switch between them.
Interesting.
So I'll be using Pyra to start with my standard sword, and then like after I've used her skills, I'll switch off instantly to another blade which actually uses fist weapons. And what's interesting is I'm doing really quick attacks, but he's also a healer type. So his moves are actually healing me while I'm getting quick attacks in. So whenever I need to heal, I'll just pop off to use that blade real quick and then pop back to Pyra. It's interesting. The game's combat is a little slow moving. Like, it's kind of that typical, it's not turn-based, but it kind of is turn-based, Mm-hmm.
See, and you were telling me about that just because, like, I'm Todd, hashtag good combat circle.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can get over slow, shitty combat if the story and world is good enough.
I think the story and world are definitely highlights of the game. I think visually the game looks really good. Like, especially playing, like, I was playing, Anastasia was watching Netflix the other day, and I was just playing it in handheld mode. And I was like, I can't believe I have a game like this in my hands. Because, like, the scale of it is so big. And it's a big, deep, my buddy Provost, he has, like, over 200 hours in the game. And I'm just like, dude, like, to have a game like that in the palm of your hands with the power of the Switch. I can't remember why we said that unironically recently.
I don't remember exactly why.
But we said that unironically, and it was hilarious. But no, I mean, like, my favorite thing about it, though, is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so good. Like, probably my favorite soundtrack of the year so far.
Damn, really?
I can't think of a better game with a better soundtrack. It's so it's actually one of my favorite composers did the game, Yasunori Mitsuda, who's a composer on like Chrono Trigger, and he's been a big Mario composer. Like he composed like all the Mario Party soundtracks and stuff like that, and he's great composer, and he did great work on this game. Like every piece of music that I've heard has been just fantastic. I don't know, it's good. It's really good. Like, it's definitely got that RPG shit where like it's a slow burn. Like there's definitely a lot of like grindy shit to the game. But I kind of like that in a weird way, in the same way that you like the grindy shit in Monster Hunter. Like, I kind of there's a kind of a nice thing about turning your brain off and picking up these quests and just kind of like, oh, my son is surrounded by monsters out in the field. Go help him.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand the grind, sweet boy.
There's something to that, So there's a part of me that does kind of want to recommend this game to you, because I think in spite of the combat, I think there are things to enjoy about the combat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think you could probably...
Well, you kind of were catching my attention with, like, the switching out to the blades and shit. I didn't know about that.
Yes.
That is actually that is interesting enough to me.
So here's the deal. I mean, when you think about it, you can have 4 blades equipped, and by the end of the game, you're going to have a ton of blades to choose from.
See, that itself is enough to, like, even if the combat's a little slow, I think that's interesting enough to, like, have my attention.
And there's a good amount. There's a good amount of, like, kind of like, equipment, and you can kind of like spec your blades in a way.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their own skill trees. There's a thing called affinity, where your blades will unlock certain skills, or their effectiveness will be increased depending on how much you use them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you like complete like a quest or something with a blade equipped, your affinity with them will go up and stuff. There's a really interesting system for if you buy in a marketplace, if you buy one of each of their items, you can buy the deed to that shop, and you can start getting like discounts on their items and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's also, if you do quests for a town, or if you like help out the villagers, or if you give your patronage to the shops, the town's kind of level will go up. You can kind of level up your towns, and it's called the town's development. And certain shops and quests will be made available to you depending on how developed the town is. It's interesting. It's a very interesting game, and it's just like a time sink. Every time you turn around, there's like something new to do. So that's been basically my main single player game. And it's hilarious because I just have all of these. I go from having like no multiplayer games to having like a shit ton of multiplayer games. Because like I've got now Fallout 76 coming out. You and I have been playing Diablo on Switch. I've been playing the next game I kind of want to talk about real quick is Super Mario Party. I've been playing a bunch of that. It's really good, dude. It's really good. It's the best Mario.
You were telling me that it's the best that it's been in years.
It's the best Mario Party probably since the GameCube, honestly.
Shit.
It's probably the best Mario Party I've played since the GameCube days. It's really good. It has some issues. Like there are definitely some things where I'm like, I wish you guys would have went for it a little bit harder, But overall, like I really like a lot of the mini games. The gameplay is way better. It's funny. So you have to play the game with a single Joy-Con. That works way better than it has any right to. The game's really designed around a single Joy-Con, and it just feels natural in a way that I wasn't expecting. I really like the way the boards are laid out. There's actually a co-op centric mode now called River Survival, which is so much fun. We had my little brother and sister over a few nights ago, and we spent hours just playing Mario Party. Like they were here for probably like 5 hours, and we just played Mario Party the whole time.
God bless.
It was just a lot of fun, and I really hope that they support the game with DLC. Because I would love to see like more boards added or something like that. Because here's the thing that I really respect about the game. They're doing some interesting shit with the boards for a change. Because like back in say Mario Party like say 9 or 10 on Wii U, the boards were just kind of stagnant, and you were all in the same car together, which was like weird and fucked up. And in this one, everybody's back to kind of moving their own individual characters, and They do interesting things with the actual board layouts and the things that happen on the boards and the special events on the boards and the way to get to the stars. And I'll give you an example. So actually the last board that you unlock, it's called like Kamex Tower or something like that. And the Toadette with the stars, because that's the way you win, is to gather stars. Toadette with the stars, she never moves. She's always in the same place on the map, right? Mm-hmm. But in most of the maps, she moves around throughout the course of the game. But in this one, she never moves. The interesting thing is the price that the stars cost is constantly changing. Okay. So on one turn, you could get to her and she may have 2 or 3 stars for sale, and they may only cost 5 coins apiece. But then as more players are buying more stars, the price will change. It could become 25 coins for a star, So it's interesting, and it creates an interesting thing where it's like I need the most coins possible, and I also need to take advantage of the prices when I can and get there as fast as I can. It's really cool. It's a really good game. I'm very, very pleased with it. I was kind of like, it's funny. The only reason the thing that pushed me over the edge to buy it was funny enough. So one of my neighbors leaves their door open a lot. Like they have like a bug screen over their door and they just like leave their door open. And I saw them playing it. Like a couple of times I would walk outside to take Herbie out and I saw my neighbors playing Mario Party. And I'm just like, looks fun. This shit looks pretty fun. I kind of want to buy it. So I told Anastasia and she's like, yeah, fuck it, let's get it. So we've been playing that. We've been having a lot of fun with that. But the sort of game of the hour that I want to talk about is Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, you've spent a lot of time with Red Dead Redemption 2. You've actually finished it.
I'm playing the living shit out of Red Dead Redemption 2.
You finished the game. You finished the sort of epilogue to the game. How many hours would you say that it took you to finish the game? Because the game's long.
I'm going to be honest. 20 plus.
Had to be more than that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying 20 plus to be easy.
Yeah. Because you were actually doing like side missions and stuff.
Yes.
So I'll flat out say, and I'll get into my deeper thoughts after I give Todd a chance to give his, but I've only played this game for like 3 hours. So why don't you give the folks your in-depth review?
Well, I'm going to say this right now. I was surprised you even bought the game because you weren't that much of a fan of the first one.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
So that's, I'm going to be honest, it's your own damn fault.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
See, I actually really enjoy Red Dead Redemption, and I also enjoy Red Dead Redemption 2. And I have to respect a lot of the realism in Red Dead Redemption 2.
This is such a love it or hate it game, I think.
It is. No, it is definitely a love it or hate it. I even say it to the first one less, like, not as bad. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is in a weird space of, like, it might not actually feel like a video game for some people because it's that real.
Right.
Like,
what do you, so
there's a level of realism to that game.
Explain to the people what you mean when you say that.
It's real, dude. Like, everything is so realistic in this game. The way you fucking move, to the way just like every town is like living and breathing. It's just it just traveling around. Just it takes so long. That's where all the time comes. It's just padding, traveling by horseback. But I still very much enjoy the game. I think Arthur Morgan, the main character of this one, is a better character than John Marston.
Right.
That may or may not be just because of the way I played him.
Right.
Because I played... There is an honor system in this game, and I maxed out his honor.
Well...
I was a very honorable boy.
Would you say that you redeemed him?
Oh, there was the redemption for Arthur Morgan. Like, very much so.
Don't get into spoilers, but yeah.
I won't spoil the game.
Don't spoil the game. The game's still fresh. Maybe, you know what's funny is, like, I'm telling you in, like, a year, my time with that game will come. And maybe when I eventually play it, maybe we'll talk more in depth about spoilers.
Yeah. But overall, like, it's gonna be my top 10.
Yeah. Where do you think it ranks
Easily.
currently against like all the other games you've played this year?
I'm trying to think of the games I've played this year.
Well, I mean, when you're stacking it against, you know, Monster Hunter and God of War and Spider-Man.
Monster Hunter is gonna be... I already kind of know, like, it's not gonna be number 1, because fuck out of here. Monster Hunter is gonna be a very clean 3, though, I think. Mm-hmm. Just on sheer time. So I think Red Dead might be... So far, it might just kind of lean into 4 or 5.
Right. So you think it's going to wind up somewhere in the middle of your list?
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and you gotta think too. I mean, a lot of the games that we have been looking forward to this year are yet to come.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It might get pushed down. So we'll see.
Fallout 76 isn't out yet. Battlefield's not out yet. Pokemon, Smash, like this stuff is not out yet. You know, so Yeah, my take on Red Dead Redemption 2, this might piss some people off, I guess, but it seems to be sort of the less popular opinion, but I have seen some people that the game just didn't click with me. There are things that I like about the game a lot. I think the game is beautiful. I think it's like one of the best looking games I've ever played. Like just the lighting and the scenery, it looks unreal. Like just the graphics are fucking insane. The sound design.
You saw where all that microtransaction money went.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely like a big budget, and that's the nice thing about Rockstar games is like the quality of Rockstar games. It's like Naughty Dog. Like the quality of these games cannot be understated. Like these games are just of such a high quality. There's nothing like just the production of it. There's nothing else like it, right? Just to see the dollars on screen like that, you know. But you know, the tedium is what got me. Like the pacing, it's so slow.
It's realistic. It's the realism.
And you know, and it's funny because I think that's the difference between the people who are going to. I think this is a love it or hate it kind of game. Like the people that love this game are using words like, "Oh, it's realistic," or "Oh, it's not slow. It's deliberately paced," or whatever. You know, and that's fine. Look, I'm glad that people are enjoying it. For me, like, I need things to be moved along by engaging gameplay. That's just me as a gamer. And I felt that Red Dead 1, while I wasn't as hot on it as a lot of other people were, I still felt that Red Dead 1 had a more brisk, like kind of a briskness to its pace. It didn't feel just like GTA on horses, basically, but it still felt a little more, I guess, a little more high octane than this does. Where this is literally like, you know, you have to feed and brush your horse and you have to shovel pig shit, you know, and you have to chop wood for your camp and stuff like that. And I don't know, that kind of stuff just didn't really do it for me. But more so than just that, Todd, the thing that really bums me out about this game is I just don't think the game controls very well. Like,
no, I will say I'll be the first to agree with you on that. I accidentally killed like 10 people.
I can't believe how like kind of bad the controls are in this game. Like,
yeah, the button, the mapping of the buttons is real bad, honestly.
It's weird because like it's one of those things where I'm sure like it's like Dark Souls, right? Oh, when you get used to it, it makes sense or whatever, right?
Well, I will say that you do get used to it and it's fine. It's just the first little bit of it's real bad.
I don't even necessarily mean the button mapping. I just mean like the way the game feels.
Oh no,
like,
I will technically agree with you on
even,
that. Like it is
even running at full speed, I feel like I'm in fucking molasses. You know what I mean? And I saw somebody on Twitter made a funny tweet where it's like, are we really like talking about game of the year for a game where you still have to like tap X to run? You know? Like, isn't that such a PS2 ass thing? You know?
That is I will definitely agree with that.
So, and I don't know, it's just odd. And like, there are some realistic things that I like. I actually said this as I was playing it to you. I feel like this is the San Andreasification of Red Dead, where you have to eat and you have to take your baths or whatever and like shave, or else people are going to treat you differently and stuff like that.
I was actually forced to take a shower.
Yeah, because it was funny. After you get into that, like, early in the game, you get into that, like, bar fight and you're dragged through the mud and shit like that. I was like, let me figure out how to take a bath, because people were definitely kind of like, oh, you're dirty. So I figured out how to take a bath, and that was kind of odd. Did you actually take a bath?
Yes.
Did you do the deluxe bath?
Of course.
Where the girl is basically just, like, giving him a hand job in the bath?
Yes.
I was like, all right, then. That's a thing. So, things like that.
It's the equivalent of the strip club.
Right. Things like that I respect. I like stuff like that. And I actually even like the sort of like horse care and bonding with your horse and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes that makes it more Well, that'd be spoilers.
Well, even in natural gameplay, like it's possible for your horse to die, right?
Yeah.
So like if you
It
kind of care a little bit more about your horse because you've actually
Well, yeah, because like you get like genuine like horse abilities,
right,
with like the bonding,
right, and I do respect that. Like, don't get me wrong, I like that aspect of it. It's just like I said, more so than the sort of like tedium in terms of the things you have to do. It's the controls that really I just don't enjoy playing it. Like, I don't like controlling Arthur. And, like, even the gunplay, I can't believe how bad the gunplay still is. I'm like, this is worse than GTA 5's gunplay. Like, why have you not fixed this yet? This reminds me of, like, in GTA 4, where basically you had to use the auto-aim.
I'll never turn the auto-aim off.
Dude, I swear to God, I could not imagine playing this game without auto-aim on.
Oh, fuck that.
Like,
it'd be terrible. It would be genuinely awful.
I'm almost just like in disbelief. I'm like, you can see how much time and money and care was clearly spent on this game, but like you couldn't polish up the gunplay some more. It just doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel good to play. It drives me crazy.
The entire time in the gunfights for me, I just dead-eye it.
Yeah, and I feel like even Red Dead 1 controlled better than this. You know? Like, it feels like... I mean, this is to my memory. I haven't played Red Dead 1 in years. But it just drives me crazy, dude. Like, I don't understand how they ship the game with controls like this and with gunplay like this. It really bums me out. So, I don't know. It just, like I said, it just didn't connect with me. I felt the same way about the first one, and I can tell you already that this is going to happen the same way. The first one came out the same day as Alan Wake. And I remember I was playing Alan Wake, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll play Red Dead. And it didn't really click with me. And then months later, I just happened to turn it on, and it clicked with me, and I played through it and enjoyed it just fine, right? I feel like this is going to be the same thing where, like, 6 months from now, I'm going to be like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And I'm going to like it, and I'm going to play through it, and I'm going to enjoy it. But for right now, something about it is just not... It just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. That's kind of my take on Red Dead Redemption 2. It was funny because I was anticipating it. I was looking forward to it. I was like, this is going to be a big kind of meaty single-player game I can play. It's gonna be nice. I was expecting us to do a whole episode on Red Dead 2.
Again, I was surprised the moment you said you pre-ordered it. I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah, I mean, and
because I'm gonna be honest, I kind of saw this coming. Because I know you.
Well, here's the thing, is like I said, I was expecting it to basically, if this game was basically Red Dead 1, but prettier, I think I would be playing it right now. But they've changed things mostly for the better, but I just can't get over the actual game, the game feel. I can't get over the way this game feels to play. I don't like it. One day I'll be able to get over that hump and I'll be able to enjoy myself with that game because I'm sure the story's great. I'm sure the characters are great. The world is clearly great and beautiful. But for right now, I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't get into it. I feel like there's a wall of glass between me and Red Dead. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Did you want to say anything else about Red Dead before we get into the news?
It's time for the Smash Direct, damn it.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Smash Direct. I had another thing that I want to talk about as well.
What?
Which actually, I kind of think I should talk about this before the Smash Direct. So
you should.
Yeah, so let's talk about... I wanted to talk just quickly about the final list of games for the PlayStation Classic.
Oh. See, I don't even give a fuck, so...
I know. That's why I kind of just wanted to... because we talked about this before on the podcast. So I kind of wanted to give people an update, just in case they didn't know. So Sony has finally kind of come out and revealed the final list of the 20 games for the PlayStation Classic. I'm just going to list them off real quick, and I just kind of want to give some thoughts. Because I know you were kind of checked out of the PlayStation Classic from the get-go.
Well, I've been checked out on the classics in general.
Well, just for me, it's so we got Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, the first one, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Rayman 1, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, so that's Persona 1, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, the first Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. So, like, maybe half of those games are good games, Todd, first of all. It's a shockingly weak list that has some shocking omissions. I actually can't believe. Like, I can't believe they don't have, Chrono Cross, Legend of Dragoon, any of the Tomb Raiders. You know what I mean? Like you've got to be kidding. These are classic PlayStation games. Don't get me wrong. It's great that you have Metal Gear Solid on here. Rayman 1 is a great game. The first Persona, it's really cool to see the first Persona on here because that game's actually really rare. That game, you'd find that game going on sale for like $200. So it's cool that game's on here. Super Puzzle Fighter, that's a great game. Wild Arms, great game. But then there's a lot of just shit on here. Just like, who the fuck is gonna buy this to sit there and play, the first Rainbow Six? That game sucks. Who's buying the first Grand Theft Auto, those top-down Grand Theft Autos? Who wants to play that? That's not a PlayStation. Like, when I think of the PS1, I don't think of that. I think of Legend of Dragoon. I think of Chrono Cross. I think of these big RPGs. It drives me nuts. Now, I understand why they don't have games like... People are like, oh, where's the Tony Hawk games? Well, there's licensing rights involved with that. Where's Crash Bandicoot? Where's Spyro? Well, they have remastered versions of those coming out. Where's Medieval? Well, that remastered one's coming out too. So it's like... They kind of shot themselves in the foot with this thing. I feel like. And I was actually talking to Dan about this. Because, Sony owns, I think, out of these 20 games, I think 8 of them are published by Sony. So almost half of the list is Sony published. Like, Sony owns the rights. So it almost feels like to me, Todd, like they just didn't really care to track down these third-party licenses.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think they were doing it just like Nintendo was doing it.
It just feels like they didn't put as much care to track down these third-party licenses, or that the third-party games, the people that own those licenses didn't want to play with this idea. They didn't really care to join in. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it, dude. The PS1 doesn't have that many great first-party games. The PS1 kind of lived and died by its third-party support. And the fact that a lot of the third-party games that we loved on PS1 are not on this box really kind of kills it for me. To the point where I'm like, I'm not even interested in this. It's not a good list.
I wasn't interested from the get-go.
Here's the problem, dude. So N64 Classic is inevitable, right? Nintendo can get away with loading up their systems with first-party Nintendo-owned IP because Nintendo makes good games. You know what I mean? Sony didn't start really ramping up their first-party studios and releasing great first-party titles until PS3, really. Mm-hmm. So you can't load down a PS1 Classic with Sony-owned IP when that wasn't really a thing back then. You were supported by third parties that you're not chasing down the licenses for this box. So, for example, I created my own list, just to give you an example. If N64 Classic came out and it was loaded down with literally nothing but Nintendo-owned IPs, this is what the list would be: Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Mario 64, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, Kirby 64, Yoshi's Story, Mario Party 1 through 3, Mario Tennis, Paper Mario, Star Fox 64, Smash Bros. 1, Pilot Wings. That's 16 games that are all owned by Nintendo on N64. N64 Classic could come out with that list, and that would be an incredible list, and Nintendo wouldn't have to ask a single motherfucker to give them their third-party license for it. because Nintendo just makes good games. And they make a lot of good games for their systems. So that's why, I think, ultimately, Todd, I think that's why these classic consoles work well for Nintendo, and Sony can't just have a slice of that pie, too, if they're not willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my take on this whole thing. Let's talk about this Smash Direct. Because I know you've been chomping at the bit to talk about this Smash Direct. What were your big takeaways from this?
Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant actually looks dirty.
Like, oh, and the other one is Incineroar, but yeah.
Well, oh, Incineroar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you're happy to see that.
Oh, I had a very audible yes!
Because that was you went with Litten in Sun and Moon, right?
Yes, I love Incineroar.
Incineroar's a great character, and he looks so fun. And like,
oh, he looks like a character that is like my type of character. So
yeah, so they announced with this Smash Direct 2 new fighters being Piranha Plant and Incineroar, and they announced a Echo fighter being Ken from Street Fighter, which we all saw coming. It was, it's funny. We have to talk for a second about the famous Grinch leak, which came out, which was a very real-looking leak that was purporting that Banjo was going to be announced, Banjo-Kazooie, Isaac from Golden Sun, Geno, Shadow, all these characters that like people have long wanted.
Nothing but lies.
Almost entirely bad, like almost entirely wrong. Ken was announced, but that was about it. Which Ken was like an obvious one. And the reason people were thinking that Shadow was going to be in the game is because his assist trophy was seemingly out of the game. It's confirmed now that he is back as an assist trophy, and so is Isaac.
Okay.
So
yeah, they showed Isaac just actually during the direct.
Yeah, they showed Isaac and Shadow both. I think they did that on purpose, actually, as like a troll. Like,
yeah, I think that's the whole thing. They were like showing like they're answering any questions that people might have.
Yeah, like, I think they were like, oh, and by the way, these guys are assist trophies, so basically you can hang up wanting them to be to be playable, because you can't have a playable character and have them as an assist trophy.
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting thing, because a lot of people still want Skull Kid. Skull Kid, as far as we know, is not coming back as an assist trophy, but he is going to be one of the spirits.
Okay.
Now, it's important to note that just because a character was a trophy in previous Smash games does not mean that they were not playable later. So it is possible, even if a character appears as a spirit, I would say that it is still possible that they can turn up as, one of the DLC fighters. So I think Skull Kid is still on the table. I'm still holding out hope for my boy Banjo. I really do think that Banjo is going to be a DLC fighter. Like, I think that's going to happen. I think that the negotiations with Microsoft probably were not ready for prime time. But I do think that we are going to see Banjo-Kazooie as a DLC fighter. I think Geno is probably going to happen since he's not returning as an assist trophy, and Sakurai has actually said in the past that he wants Geno to be a playable character. And Square Enix actually has been on record as saying that they prefer their fighters to be DLC fighters. So Cloud, obviously they had for Wii U. And I think Geno is going to be Square's DLC character for this one. As for the other fighters, I have no fucking idea. I have got not a clue who the other fighters could be. Do you have any idea? Because we're going to have 5 additional fighters. Who do you think?
One of them will be a Fire Emblem character.
You think so? I honestly feel like they can't get away with another Fire Emblem character.
Oh, they fucking can.
It's like, fuck. I almost, like, part of me is like, I kind of wish that they would get Rex from Xenoblade 2, but they kind of specifically addressed Rex, and I think you're actually getting his, like, outfit for this game.
Yeah, you're getting his, yeah.
If you pre-order or whatever, so I think that pretty much confirms that he's not going to pop up. So,
because do they feel like they have enough Xenoblade shit with Shulk or whatever?
Shulk is like the only Xenoblade character, though, and
yeah, I know. You're not wrong.
I mean, I think they have Tora as an assist trophy, and but I mean, I don't know. I'm a little like whatever about that. So I think there's I'm really looking forward to seeing who these fighters are going to be for DLC. But I mean, even aside from that, I see people who are like disappointed by this direct, and I'm like, dude, the roster has 74 fucking characters in it. What do you want?
I didn't get the one character that I wanted.
Fuck off. Like, this has 74. This is the most impressive fighting game roster of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, already. Even without your fucking stupid Rhythm Heaven chorus kids or whatever. Like, this is literally the most impressive fighting game roster. We don't deserve Sakurai, Todd. We don't deserve him.
Did you tell me this? Did you see the this like comic of like the Smash Brothers Ultimate's final boss?
No, what is it?
So you know that like that fucking thing we saw in the fucking like sky with like the like colored wings and shit? Yeah, they zoom in on it, it's Waluigi.
A lot of people are butthurt about Waluigi still. But I just feel like it's ridiculous to complain about this roster. This is such an incredible roster. I can't believe that this game exists. Like, it's crazy to me that we're going to be able to play with all of these characters. Another thing that they touched on in the Direct, even separately from the characters that I want to talk about, are the different modes that they touched on.
Yes.
How do you feel about Spirits mode?
I'm very interested in it. Like, I was kind of like sitting there like, they're really getting in depth with this shit. Like, I think you're going to really be able to make like fucking builds for your characters.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like shit.
So basically, trophies in the traditional way that we've always had trophies in Smash Brothers are gone now, which is a little bit of a bummer to me because I always did enjoy collecting trophies and reading about the history of the characters and stuff. But at the same time, I understand it. Like, I know why they're doing it. They're replaced now with these things called spirits, which are sort of like these 2D collectible characters that you are going to be sort of obtaining through the spirits mode, where you're going to be fighting like different heroes that are empowered by these spirits. Each spirit is going to have its own like set of abilities that you can then put onto your characters and create, like Todd was saying, like little builds out of them, which is going to be interesting. And you can play online with those builds against other people who are using spirit builds. And I don't even know how many spirits are in the game to collect. I mean, it's got to be an absurd number. I think Smash Wii U had like 700 some odd trophies.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's gonna. Let's just say we're probably gonna be able to spend a lot of time playing this game.
That's the thing, dude. Is like so between this and the World of Light mode that I want to talk about next, this game has got meaty single player content.
Mm-hmm.
Meaty single player content. It's like fuck. Like you could, obviously the big draw for Smash is multiplayer. Like you and I are gonna be tearing this game up on multiplayer. I think that actually might be a fun game to record. Like record our randoms, Yeah. Yeah, but like the single player content on display here is just insane. So the World of Light mode that they revealed, basically the
Smash Brothers Infinity War.
Yeah, pretty much. The adventure mode or the single player kind of like story mode looks incredible. Like fuck. It looks like the good Subspace Emissary. That's the funny thing. Everybody always is like, oh, I want Subspace Emissary to come back. Do you remember how shit that was? Like, don't get me wrong, the cutscenes were great. The story behind it was great. I loved that, and I loved some of the kind of mashups that they did with that. But the actual doing the stupid break the targets and stuff in between the round, that was all dumb.
Yeah.
This looks like it's actually going to be legitimately you're actually having to fight. So, for example, GameXplain has already been releasing some of their analysis of the World of Light, and on the map, so you're traversing this big kind of flat painted map, and you can actually see in one of the cities, you can see Moray Towers from Splatoon 2 and stuff.
Okay, yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
assuming that you're gonna have to go there and fight the Inklings to unlock the Inklings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just looks really, really cool. I'm very into it. How do you feel about the fact that the Smash Brothers theme has lyrics now?
It's a little weird.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I first heard it, I kind of cringed a little bit, but now I kind of like it. There's a part of me that likes that cheesy shit. I'm a huge fan of Jump Up Superstar for Mario,
Yeah.
And like my wife she'll listen. She's like, guys, it's so cringy. Like, why do you like this? And I was like, I don't know. It just makes me happy.
That's kind of where I'm at on the that thing in Mario.
I love it. I fucking love it. It's like one of my favorites. I listen to it all the time. It just makes me happy.
I saw a funny post involving World of Light, and they had like a plush Kirby with a knife.
Yeah, because it's so funny because Kirby's like the only one that survived.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you hurt my friends.
It's funny because I'm assuming that we're going to start off that game playing as Kirby.
Yeah, I'm assuming,
for World of Light, and we're just going to have to slowly kind of get everybody else.
Can I say, like, I was kind of like laughing through the entire like snap, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Of like whenever like any character with like a shield fucking did it, just instantly got fucking incinerated. I was like, holy shit.
Somebody actually made a really good mashup with the Infinity War trailer.
Oh,
where it's like get this man a shield, and it's Link, sitting there at the shield trying to block it and shit. I'm gonna have to link you to it. It's really good. It's really good. But no, I think it looks amazing. I'm hoping that we have a lot of cutscenes. Because if you think about it, right? The cutscenes that they've been showing us leading up to, like Luigi dying and Mario being taken by Ridley and shit like that. Like, that could be worked into the single player.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping that we get a lot of, like, high-quality cutscenes. So, we'll see. I can't wait for this game, Todd. It's like, easily my most anticipated. I'm going to lose hundreds of hours in that game.
Oh, it's going to be bad. Like, I already know I'm going to just be sitting there playing the shit out of that game.
I'm so ready to dust off the good old GameCube controller. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm glad to see that like challenge mode is back and collectible music is back. I'm glad that the music isn't just all unlocked from the get-go. So I like that we're gonna have to unlock all the characters, gonna have to unlock the music and unlock the stages and stuff. I'm happy for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm wondering how long it's gonna take me to unlock Incineroar, because I do want him to be my main.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way they're probably gonna handle it, they didn't go into detail about it, but I feel like if you just play through World of Light, you're probably going to unlock everybody by the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe.
So. Anyway, well, that was pretty much the Smash Direct, and that's pretty much all I've got for this inflated episode. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's about it.
All right, well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.